So I thought there's nobody better to sit down with than one of the co-founders of Patta. I mean, culturally, you guys are just like iconic worldwide. So this really is an honor, yeah. Could you give the people a small introduction of who you are, where you come from, how it's shaped who you are today?
Yes, my name is Guillaume Gee Schmidt. I'm 46-year-old. Started Patta 20 years ago with my co-founder and one of my best friends, Edson Sabajo. We started Patta as an ID, and basically what we wanted to do is just create and work with people around us. And to make that work, we had to have something to sell or to exist. And it was the sneaker hustle, something that we kind of from hip hop culture was fitting to us, something that we were really into. And we built from that this good sneaker store to what it is now, like I would say a brand with a voice. Yeah.
How did you move from selling sneakers to like making your own stuff?
Well, everything that we do, most of it is really organic, so it comes because we need it. When we were selling the sneakers in the beginning, we were all independent. We did a lot of parallel importing. People would call it reselling now, but it's a gray market. We just went, like wherever we went, we just went to buy sneakers that we didn't see back home, and we brought them back. And then we sold it for like twice the price that we bought it for.
Yeah.
Which is super decent. It's like buying in, but then you do it by yourself. As we existed longer, we started working with companies. But that builds a kind of a dependence also on those companies to deliver to you. Which is in a sense okay, it is stable, but at the same time it also makes you dependent. And we were like, a lot of people also make the choice to come to us not only for the product but also for other reasons. And that's why they were good with the brand. That's why people want affiliation with a specific brand. So that's when we started to also sell t-shirts with our name on it. And that's how we started out first, and then we built that out with the help of Vincent van der Waal, who is our creative director. Okay. And then we kind of moved into becoming a brand, So it kind of came out of necessity.
I see in terms of the brands you've worked with like over the years, I see the main collaborations are with Nike, as well as New Balance. How have those grown over the years? You can see you're wearing one of your new collections, part of the Patta Running Club.
Yeah.
How's that relationship been with Nike and?
It's always you always look for what you can bring to a partner. It's a good balance in a collaboration. It's like you kind of have to know yourself, but also know who you are working with and what the opportunities are. And a lot of times, sometimes like it's an opportunity to also use specific resources that you possibly not have yourself. The running team exists for quite a while now, since I would say 2010. Edson started with this with the running team, and has built it, by constantly doing it and actually doing it. And he kind of built and surrounded the community with a specific ethos, and I think that's something that is very valuable. Nike recognized this because that's also what you need, like in a partnership. Like people have to recognize what opportunities are and what someone who you work with can add to what you already have. And I think we have a very specific voice, and that's something that we worked around as a team for bringing out this collection. It's called "This Is Our Space." That's the ethos of the campaign, which we basically say that the way we run and the way we do things, it's like we claim that we can be everywhere and anywhere without no reason. You know what I mean? And so we built quite a big collection there. I think the biggest Nike apparel collection we did for a while. Okay. And then we also made some footwear in there as well, which is good for us because it's less lifestyle and way more functional across the apparel and the footwear. And there's actually only one item in there which is basically lifestyle, which is the varsity jacket, but that also has a story. Because varsity jackets are like almost like award jackets.
Yeah, of course.
Or jackets to show that you belong to a team or to a crew or to whatever, to a school. So that's a little bit of the reasoning and the motivation why we are doing this.
Okay. In terms of a brand that really is able to sustain such a rich lifestyle and such a rich culture is Patta, because on top of the running club, you have the cycling club, you've got the academy, you've got the restaurant. Maybe if we go into a bit more detail about Patta Academy, because I feel like it's quite important, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like this handing over of information, which is also what we're trying to do with Blueprint. So,
I think it's important, like, you know, the motivation behind the academy is basically that we want to pass on the torch. Like, we are here now. In our journey, we came along and across a whole lot of gatekeeping, crabs in the barrel mentality, all this type of things. And we definitely took in for ourselves that when we came to a specific place or a specific position, that we would have to take responsibility in a sense, you know. So we kind of always had our doors open for people that want to try stuff, people with ideas, you know. And in a sense, you know, that ethos is something that we want to transcend through the academy, you know. Like, there's all types of courses about finance, also like a creative course. We learn a whole lot of different stuff, you know, but it's actually the most important thing is building network, you know, getting to know people, like between these 25 people that follow this academy course. Like, at the end of the day, we want them to kind of build, to get to know each other and recognize what one can do for another, you know, and that's how we build our brand. Like, not only by ourselves, but also working together with people that we like and that have specific skills that we don't have ourselves, you know. And as soon as you start building network, you know, like, you become stronger. So the academy has an alumni club, so like, you know, like, you have graduation day, you get your graduation, you did the Patta Academy, then you come into the alumni club, and the alumni club thinks about things to do for the next year.
Oh, wow.
You know? And they organize stuff and they do things, and then they become alumni, and then there's 50 alumni. And that's how we kind of want to build an army of people that that can work together, want to build together, and want to build each other, you know. And I think that's it, strength by numbers.
That's so wholesome. And I know you've done work in South Africa with the Patta Academy, with Mama Shaka. And now that we're talking about the continent, and now you've just opened Patta in Lagos. Like, how important is that work on the continent for, like, the character of Patta? And do you hope to do more?
Yeah, it's super important. For us, it's actually a full circle. Because, as you know, probably we are children of the diaspora. I am Maroon, so that means I'm from the runaway slaves in Suriname. We kind of had our own civilizations in the forest. Edson his ancestry is indigenous, you know, so he has a little less from that, but still, like, you know, like, he's here now. We are all coming from somewhere, and like, a lot of us come actually from West Africa, you know, but we scattered out all over the world, so it's good to have a sense of belonging. And for us, going and opening up a shop in Africa is so important for this narrative, you know, like that we kind of acknowledge that we are from somewhere else and that we also want to build with people there, you know. So I think it's one thing to do it, but it's also another thing how you do it, you know. And it's about ownership, it's about acknowledging, and it's about also seeing possibilities, you know. And the possibilities in the continent are endless. You know? And yeah, that's what we want to enforce and empower.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I have for you today.
Okay.
Like I could literally ask you so many questions, but we're trying to keep them short and sweet so that people can keep wanting more.
Nice one.
But thank you so much for joining us. And do you have any words of wisdom you'd like to end with?
Well, you know what? Fail a lot. Like only by failing and trying, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You know, I fail all the time. I get up, learn, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Very important to know yourself. You know, if you know yourself, then it's also worth to get to know someone else. You know, it starts with yourself. Yeah, that's it.
No, thanks so much.
Power up.